Okay, so we're now live. So this is, what's today's date?
The 17th.
Good, wow. How did everybody know it so quick? Did you have to do that earlier?
No.
Okay, all right. So this is December 17th, 2016. And we are at where? Where are we? Huh?
It's 2015.
Oh, 2015. I was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Where are we?
In a computer lab.
We're at the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority YOSA program, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a pretty full class today. And we're going to talk about Google Apps. We're going to talk about Google Chrome. And the reason we're going to do that is to help you with employment. But before we do that, we're going to give a little background into who I am, why I'm here, what's the benefit for you of me being here. So my name is Edward Bevilacqua, and I'm the Director of Education at a school called Larson Training Centers, also known as the Stanford of Vocational Schools, or the Stanford of Career Schools. We have the highest placement rate of any post-secondary school in the state of Nevada, at 87%. And what makes that, so higher than UNLV, higher, what are some other universities here?
CSN.
CSN, what else?
Nevada State.
Nevada State, what else? Anybody ever hear of Phoenix?
Yeah.
Or Everest? Toro? Okay, higher than all of those. And what makes it more significant is that we start with people who need the most help, not with graduates that are A students. We start with real people. And some of our students are in prison. They get to leave prison to come to school. They go back to prison at night. Starting Monday, we will be having our campus inside of the prison, so we'll have another campus inside of the prison. Other students are convicted of misdemeanors, and instead of sweeping streets, they get to go to school. And we have other people that live at Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, the Mission, the Shade Tree, places like that. So we start with people who are at about a 5% chance of getting stable and meaningful employment, and we get them up to 87%. And the only reason it's not 100% is those people just aren't ready to find a position and go to work. It's not because there aren't employers. It's not because they don't learn at the school. And so what we teach people at our school is jobs that every business needs, not some businesses. So if we're in a pizza business, if you are a pizza maker, what do you need to know how to do? Make pizzas, okay. But if you're in a sewing factory and you know how to make pizzas, does that help?
No.
Probably not. So we don't teach that type of stuff, but we teach jobs that if you work in a pizza parlor, they need these jobs. If you work in a sewing machine factory, they need those jobs. And so the positions that we help people learn for to become what's called autodidactic, which is to learn to teach yourself, are jobs that every business needs. Now, when I say every business, there's two types of businesses I don't mean. One is nonprofit businesses. Okay, we don't help people get jobs in nonprofit businesses. We just don't. Not that they're bad. We just don't. There's just a lot more businesses that are for-profit than not-profit. Or government jobs. We don't teach people to get jobs in government jobs. Why? Because there's not that many and they're harder to get. Also, one of the things we do teach you to say is when you're in your job interview and they ask you a question which is something like, well, why should we hire you? What would you say? Marquisha, right? Wrong. You don't say Okay, let's try it again. What would you say? Why should we hire you?
Because I do a job.
Okay, another wrong answer, but that's an answer that most people say. Here's the right answer, so write this down in your books. On page 3, not the cover, not the inside cover, no, page 4. So what's page 4 in our book?
It's the third book.
The
third book.
So that's page 1. page 2, page 3, page 4. Okay, that's page 4. So it's the second sheet of paper. So when they ask you a question, why do you want to work for us? What would you say, Ernest?
I could benefit the company.
Okay, so that means I forgot,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Remember our 70-30?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Erica, what do you say?
I can make you a better profit.
Close. How about you? Oh, you weren't here last week.
Yes, I would.
Oh, you were? Okay. Do you remember?
Didn't you say to make, I can make your company make,
Okay, you're on the target.
make your company more money?
Okay, so close. So when they say, why should we hire you or anything like that? Your answer is very simple. Because I'm going to make you more money than anyone else who's applying for the job. But you have to say it like you mean it. You can't say it like,
I'm sorry. That
Okay.
can be interpreted as a lie. You don't know how much money you're gonna make per day.
you're going to make them more money than anyone else that's applying. Okay, the people that are competing with you for that job, you have to say, I'm going to make you more money than anyone else.
So we're writing that down.
Yeah, write that down. When they ask you the question, why should I hire you or anything like that? Because I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. And you have to say it like you mean it. That's what they want to hear. Erica, what are the two things that all businesses want?
They want to make or save money.
Exactly. Okay, so that is the answer you need to say. If you say, because I really, really, really want a job,
I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I said that.
well, a lot of people think that. And that's what a lot of people say,
Sarcastic.
because I really need the job.
Okay, I was being sarcastic. You're slightly honest. Come on.
No, all businesses, so the next thing is, all businesses want to, A, make money, B, save money. That's why they hire people. It's either to make them money or save them money. They don't, I'm not talking about government jobs, I'm not talking about nonprofit. I'm talking about employers. Real employers, real companies have two things. They want to make money and save money. If they don't need employees, guess what they're not going to do?
Hire you.
Yeah, they're not going to hire employees. They're going to hire robots. They're going to hire machines. They're going to hire computers. They're going to do whatever they can do to not have people, because people cause problems. But they want to make money or save money. That's all they want to do. So if you say, if you tell them what they want to hear, is that bad or good?
That's good.
That's good. So what are all the, so the next thing is, what are the jobs, the positions that all businesses need?
Money management.
Okay.
Customer service.
There you go.
Customer service, exactly.
Retail.
Who said that? Who? Oh, okay, good. Okay. Customer service.
Office administration.
Okay, they need administration. See, aren't you glad you took notes? What else? All businesses need, what else? What else do all businesses need?
Security.
No?
Accountant.
Accounting, right. Why did you have to say that?
Because they need someone that's gonna balance the books, the finances,
Okay.
and make sure.
And there's one other thing all businesses need, and the people that do this say, nothing starts until this happens in any business. Nothing starts till we do our job.
Well,
Huh? No.
Annually.
Sales, and marketing.
Ah, okay.
Okay? Those are the 4 things that every business, it doesn't matter if you're a pizza manufacturer, it doesn't matter if you make sewing machines, you're a marijuana dispensary, they all have admin, customer service, accounting, and sales and marketing. They have other things, but they all have this. So at our school, we help people learn these skills. That means you can get a job in any business, not just some businesses. So, you know, one of the problems for people is if you have a business that you like, but a very small number of companies actually do that, it's harder. Okay? Let's say you're the guy who takes care of the horses that pull the wagons that deliver the beer. How many jobs are there for those people? None anymore. How many were there 100 years ago? Thousands, right. Okay, that job's gone.
Right.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later. So our school teaches people to do these jobs. And now what do you think you need, what skills do you think you need to do these jobs?
Leadership.
Leadership? Who said that?
Oh, come on. You gotta use my voice right out there.
Okay, no. What skills do you need to do these jobs? Yeah,
You need to know how to be able to use a computer.
okay, so you need computer skills, right? Does anybody disagree with that?
No.
Okay, what else? Yeah.
You need to be able to communicate effectively.
You need to be able to communicate. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. Because you need that in life, right? Okay, I want to focus right now on work, on these. Today, you can't really do these if you can't do that. But to your point, you can't get anywhere if you can't communicate. Right?
Oh, director.
Okay, so you can't communicate. If you can't communicate, you can't get anywhere. But we're just focused on these 4 jobs. So what else do you need to know?
Problem resolution skills?
What?
Resolution skills?
No, not to do these. Okay, so I'll make it easy because they're simple. Typing. Today you need to know how to type.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to do one of these jobs, you need to know how to type. If you want to dig ditches, you don't really need to know how to type, but nobody really wants to do that with the shovel, right? If you want to work in the warehouse at Zappos, do you think you need to know how to type? You do, because it's highly computerized. Okay, what else do you need to know? Okay, so what you need to know is not just computer skills, but Office. So what I mean by Office is not running an office. I mean word processing, spreadsheets, PowerPoint. That's what I mean by Office. But I don't mean Microsoft Office. Okay? Now, if you can type, and you just learned to type. Let's say you came out of Larson, you got a certificate that said you type 55 words a minute. Do you think that's going to get you a job?
No,
No. Why not?
because they want somebody that's going to impress them.
That's going to do what?
Impress them.
Well, they want that too. But the people you're competing with, they also know how to type. They know how to type 55 words a minute too.
Maybe they want to accurate typer.
Let's say they're the same. 55 words is not really that much. Okay? The record at our school is over 100, more than 105 words a minute, adjusted with accuracy. Okay? So 55 is good, but it's not great. And if you're competing for a job today, a good job, there could be 400 people you're competing with. So typing alone isn't going to do it. You have to know how to type or you're not going to get the job, but just because you can type, you're not going to get it. Same thing with Office. Are you going to get a job if you walk in and say, I just graduated from Larson and I have my certificate for office. You're competing with people who said, well, I've been working in office for 10 years. Who's going to have the advantage? Everything else is equal. Person with experience. Okay. So just like in the days when they had these horses pulling wagons with beer on them, right? Can everybody picture those days?
Yeah.
The turn of the 20th century? Can you picture the day that beer company said, you know what, let's buy a truck. They have these gasoline-powered trucks out now, and instead of having horses pull the wagon, why don't we have a gasoline-powered truck? Can you picture that? Can everybody picture that? Okay. Now, let's say that company buys a truck, and you show up and say, I just graduated from engine repair school, engine school. I'm a mechanic. Would they be interested in you?
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though you just graduated. You just graduated the day before, they're very interested because what do they need?
Somebody do it on and fix it.
Yeah, somebody that knows how to work because they need mechanics. When they buy the truck, what happens to the guy who is the expert on the horses?
He gets fired?
He's gone.
They're looking for somebody with higher expectations.
Exactly. So we are now living in this point in time where everybody who doesn't have experience can have an advantage. And that advantage is not typing, but you need to know typing. It's not Office, but you need to know that. It's the cloud.
What's so good about the cloud?
Huh?
What's so good about the cloud?
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, okay. Have you heard of the cloud?
No,
You've never heard of the cloud?
no.
I heard of the cloud
Last week or before?
last week.
Okay.
You mentioned it.
Okay, so the good news is, who has not heard of the cloud?
Okay, God, it's so bad.
Okay, about half. Who had not heard of the cloud before coming here? Excuse me.
You had not heard of it before coming here?
Yeah, before last week or the week they came here. So, Erica, had you? You knew the cloud before, okay. How about you?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody can mess with the cloud.
Nobody can mess with the cloud, right. Once it's on the cloud, it's hard to get it out, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that movie? What was that movie?
16.
Sex Tape, right.
Oh.
Remember that movie?
There we go.
Nobody can mess with the cloud.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about the cloud. So the cloud, what the cloud does for businesses is it makes it easy for businesses to get new customers and be more efficient. So imagine this, in California, has anybody heard of Kaiser Permanente? Kaiser Hospitals?
Everybody.
Are you guys from California?
Yes.
Yeah.
What part?
Fresno.
Where?
Southern California, Orange County,
What part?
Central.
Okay. I grew up in Pleasanton. You know where that is?
For what?
Pleasanton.
No, I don't know where that is.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Oakland? Oakland?
I don't know what it is.
So I was born in Oakland. I grew up in Pleasanton, which is right near there. So I'm from the Bay Area. Do you call it Cali?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Are you an Oakland Raiders fan?
No.
No.
Okay. So the cloud enables businesses to get new customers and be more efficient. And how does it do that? Because it makes it easier for people to communicate. So with Kaiser Permanente, now you can go to your doctor's office, go into an exam room, a physician assistant, not a doctor, will come in there, they'll have a camera, a computer, and the doctor might be in Sacramento. Do you think the doctor could see more patients if all they're doing is by computer?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he just has to sit in his office. He has the computer records. They take his blood, the person's blood pressure. He can see it up there at his office. All of the files are electronic, so they don't have paper files. So whatever Kaiser Permanente you go to, they have your records. Is that going to save them money? If they don't have paper files, people figuring them out,
Yes.
okay? So it becomes more efficient. Is it better for the patient? Yeah, probably. Because the doctor's only focused on one thing. He's not thinking, well, who's in that room, and that room, and that room, and where am I going to go have lunch today, and I got to hurry up because I've got a golf game at 4. He's not thinking about that. He's just focused on patients. And the physician's aide, like the nurse, that person is doing the work and helping the doctor, and the doctor's back there. Let's say you need a specialist. As a patient, would you be happy if you got to see a specialist because it was online through the cloud versus you have to wait 2 more weeks because the specialist is only here once every 3 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what the cloud does. It makes it easier to get customers, and it makes it easier to be more efficient. All businesses. So if you don't know the cloud, just take my word for it, write this down. All businesses want to get to the cloud. Okay, all businesses want to get to the cloud.
Yeah, look at this look at design.
So if you are the only person applying for a job that knows the cloud, who has an advantage?
You do.
Yeah. Okay, that's part of why we have an 87% placement rate, is because our graduates have the skills that all businesses need. And so when you say, I can make you more money than anyone else, and they say, how? And you say, the cloud, you have to be prepared for them to ask you the next question, which is what?
What is that?
What's that? What's that? You have to be prepared to say, here's what it is, and here's how I can help you. So here, I come here every Thursday to spend 2 hours talking about the cloud for the purpose of employment and to encourage people to come to Larson Training Centers as a school to become a student. And if you qualify, which probably everybody here would, the state of Nevada will pay for your tuition. And if you don't, we have student loans. And our student loan program, because we're so confident in what we do, our student loan program is, if you graduate and you get your own job, your student loan is forgiven.
Not good.
If you graduate and you don't get a job, and you want us to be your agent, who else has agents? What's an agent? Not a secret agent. What's an agent?
Somebody that knows.
And if I
Yeah, exactly. Somebody that helps you. Somebody that, so do actors have agents?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about entertainers, singers, musicians? Yeah. How about athletes?
Yes.
Yeah. Huh?
That's what they all have.
They all have agents. And the agent gets paid how much?
A lot.
10%. 10%. The agent gets paid 10%. And why would somebody, like let's say you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you're going to get $10 million for a movie. Why would he pay an agent $1 million?
because he's a good agent.
Not only that, because they can afford it.
Well, because the agent got him the best deal.
Right.
Leonardo DiCaprio could call up anybody and say, I want to be in a movie. You got a movie for me? And they'd say, yeah, but he's not an agent, so he'd miss some things. He's not going to get himself the best deal. So if we're your agent and we get you a job, then you pay back your student loan at the rate of the agent fee. Huh? Wait a second, you're just paying yourself back with your own money that you gave us to go to school. Right? The school's saying, wait a second, we're going to be your agent. You don't pay us extra money, you pay us back from the money we gave you. Wow, that's a good deal. So we want people, because schools like ours are graded based upon placement, not based upon how much did you learn. It's who got jobs. And so it's very important for us for people to get jobs, but we don't, our business is not getting you a job and saying, here's a job. That's what other people do. Or they're hiring over there, go put in your application. That's not what we do. Our business is we believe that everybody has something that they really want to do, that they would love to do for a living. Somebody would pay them, they'd love to do it. Could be what your hobby is today, could be just something that you said, boy, if I could do that, that's what I would do. So we say, think about what is it that you want to do, that you would do. If money wasn't an issue, you would do it. What would you want to do? Then go find 3 to 5 companies that do that.
Oh my God. I'm right there.
Then go research those companies. Then go research those companies. People in Nevada keep jumping on and talking. That's that background noise you hear because they're watching it over at the other campus. So find 3 to 5 companies that you would want to work for and research them. How do you research them? Yeah. You go to their web page, you Google them, you go to YouTube.
You can get pamphlets from the place.
You can do that. You research them, and your goal is to get them to interview you.
Right.
That's the simple goal. Get them to give you an interview. And then the next goal is once you have the interview, that when you're being interviewed, you know more about that company than the person interviewing you. And then you persuade them that you're the person they should hire. And in that scenario, you don't wait till that company's hiring, because good companies are always hiring. They're always looking for people. Might not be the position you want, but would you rather be unemployed or start out at the bottom? Yeah. Most people have an attitude of, well, if I can't be president, I don't want to work there. Okay. I'm not starting at the bottom. But the reality is everybody who made their way to the top, the people you hear, they start at the bottom.
Sometimes that's the best way to find your way through the company.
It's almost always, you're right. That's a very good, that's the good strategy. So that's what you do. You say to yourself, what would I do if I could do anything I want? Because the reality is you probably can, as long as it doesn't violate the laws of physics. In other words, you can't say, I want to be Clark Kent. I want to be Superman. Okay, you can't say that. You can't say, I want to be an astronaut, but I don't want to have to go to astronaut school. You can't say something like that. But if you say, I want to be a surgeon, and I'm willing to do what it takes to be a surgeon, guess what you can be? You can be a surgeon. So start with, what is it that I want to do? This is the thing I love to do. So in our school, we call it, it's your career. We say, it's a thing, I mean, your calling. It's a thing that you say, I want to do that so much, I'd work there free if they'd let me.
Whoa.
For the rest of my life?
If money wasn't an object,
Okay.
I'd work there free. That's a calling. Now a destiny position is, I love that so much, I would pay them. So there's a movie out with, the guy's a baker in the movie. He makes cakes. Burnt. Okay, did you see it?
No.
Okay, did you saw the previews though?
Yes.
Okay, you remember the part where the guy comes up to him, he says, okay, you want to work for me? You're out in the street, a guy wants to come work for him, what does he say? The guy says, yeah. He says, okay, will you work for me free? The guy says, yeah. He says, will you pay me to work for me?
What?
It's in the movie. What's the actor's name?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, right. So Bradley Cooper says,
Oh, okay.
he says to a guy that wants to be a cook, that wants to learn from him, you willing to work for me for free? Yeah, why? Because he believes if he learns to cook from the best cook in the world, he's going to be a great cook.
Right.
Okay? And then Bradley Cooper says, well, will you pay me to work for me?
What did he say?
Okay. They cut the thing. I don't know. Okay? But that is an example of a destiny position where you want to do it so much you pay them.
Hey, but you are paid them when you're giving them all that time.
No, he meant literally pay me.
Wow.
Now, Do people do that?
If the
No.
experience was worth
Do people
that
pay to learn?
Yeah, they
What
do.
kind of crazy people pay to learn?
They do.
Americans?
Solution.
What kind of Americans? Crazy Americans?
I would call it saying, I'm just sitting there saying, I would call it saying.
Okay.
They pay financial aid.
I'll tell you who pays. 75% of the people that go to Harvard, Stanford, Berkeley, any other school, they want to get on the other side so bad that they'll pay to get what they need to know. A lot of people get that's crazy. But it's not crazy. Okay, so we start with find a calling. What's a calling?
Something you would pay someone else.
Something you do for free.
Let me put
What's a destiny?
Oh, right.
Destiny is something you pay.
Yeah.
College.
You want to do it so much you pay them to do it.
So this is the cloud, right? We're talking about the cloud?
No, we're not talking about the cloud. We're talking about your employment plan.
Okay. You,
The cloud is a means to the end because all employers need to get to the cloud. You need to find the employer you want and give them reasons to hire you.
What was that part about the destiny thing?
Okay, destiny, you want to do it so much, you pay to do it. Does anybody do that? How about Mother Teresa?
Oh.
How about mothers that go volunteer to work in their kids' schools? And they bring in lunch or they bring in cookies and snacks and things like that. People do that. People do that. We're not saying you should do that. We're saying find a job that you want to do so much that's how you feel about it. Then find 3 to 5 companies that do that. Research the companies. Get them to interview you. And when you're in the interview, you persuade them to hire you. And the first step of that persuasion is because I'm going to make you more money than what? Than anybody else. I'm going to make you more money than anybody else. And they're going to say what? How? Right? And then you're going to say, I'm a hard worker. You're going to say the same thing everybody always says. I work hard, I'm loyal, I'm dependable, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean anything because everybody says it, but you kind of have to say it because it's like you have to know how to type. Okay, you say it, but you say, but I can bring you to the cloud. I know the cloud and I can help you get there. And then you hope they say what?
You're hired?
No.
What is the cloud?
what's the cloud?
How? Yeah, what's the cloud? How? Okay, and then you're prepared because you got ready for this. You're prepared to answer the question so you can talk about the cloud. Now, that can't be right. That clock can't be right.
12:53.
12:53 over here.
Yeah, okay. So that says,
I got 12:52.
yeah, that's an hour fast. Okay, so now the bad news is you can't learn the cloud in 1 hour in here. The only thing I can get you to do here is to have an awareness of parts of it, like one of the apps. We're going to talk about the 8 apps that we teach at the school to get you to want to further your education, to get you to believe the cloud is my ticket. If I know the cloud, I can get a position in any company I want, as long as I'm qualified.
You're telling me you're going to give us a job because we know how to video chat?
No, I didn't say that. But what I am saying is, if there is a job that you want, we can help you get that job. See, we are an adult school. We're a school for people that's called post-secondary. So it's for people who've graduated high school or they're 18. Okay, you could be 16, graduated high school, you can go to a secondary school. Post-secondary school, not secondary, post-secondary. Secondary school is high school. UNLV is a post-secondary school. Our school's a post-secondary school. What we don't do is we don't treat our students like they're not adults. Because you think businesses want to hire kids?
No.
No, they want to hire people who are adults. So we don't treat people like kids and then say, okay, you've graduated, now go act like an adult. Okay, we don't do that. We say, employers hire adults going to our schools like going to work, and we are going to treat you like an adult. We expect you to act like an adult. And one of the things adults do is they take responsibility, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay? They don't have someone to take care of it. They take responsibility. So that means, guess who has to find their own job?
We do.
Yeah, but you need to have the right tools. Last week we went around, we said, how many resumes do you send out a week? How many resumes, do you remember that?
Mhm.
Do you remember what one guy said? How many he sent out?
He said like 100.
100 resumes. He said, nobody's hired me.
Dang.
Dang, nobody's hired me. I sent out 100 resumes and not one person hired me.
If that's not rejection, I don't know what it is, man.
Well, no, that is bad planning. Okay, what were you going to say?
But the way that the computer systems are set up with the job finding, the job searching process, it's like I found out the hard way how you have to really post a resume or set up a resume
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay, so here's the trick. People think, wow, it's so easy to apply for jobs. I can send out 100 resumes a day if I wanted to, or 100 resumes a week. The more resumes I send out, the higher my probability of getting a job is, right? If I send out 1 million resumes, somebody's going to hire me. Okay, but that's not true. That's false. That's called a paradox. And at our school yesterday, we went through the paradox of choice. So this is like the paradox of employment. You only want to send 3 to 5 resumes. That's all you want to do. And it's not send your resume to 3 or 5 companies. You have a different resume for each company. Okay, let's say you're a restaurant. Pick a restaurant.
Denny's.
Therese, right? Just pick a restaurant.
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden, okay. Pick a restaurant.
Chili.
Okay, Chili's. Okay, Olive Garden and Chili's. Now, do you think that Olive Garden is looking for the same people that Chili's is looking for?
No.
Do you?
Maybe some of the same, but not all of the same.
Okay, what would be the same?
Probably the waiters, probably the busboys.
You think the waiters at Olive Garden are the same as the waiters at Chili's? Studio? Really?
And I mean, don't Chili's and Olive Garden both have bars?
First, then I'll-
They both have bars, but Olive Garden is Italian food.
Yes.
Chili's
Yes, it
is not Italian food.
Right.
No, they're different. They have people who are called waiters, but a waiter, it's like saying all barbers are the same, right? All hairstylists are the same, right? My hairstylist is not the same. My person puts a bowl on my head and then they turn around. Okay, they don't do that for you, right? No. So just because it's a restaurant, just because they have cooks and they have waiters, it doesn't mean at all that the guy that Chili's is looking for is the same guy all that the Olive Garden is looking for.
Right.
Okay? So why would you send the same resume to Chili's and Olive Garden? Because you're lazy or you don't know better.
Or cheap.
The internet is free. Hint, internet is free. Okay? 3 resumes, 3 to 5 resumes, different resume for each company. What do you do? What's different about the resume for Chili's versus Olive Garden?
People need to talk
Might be applying for the position.
No, same position. Let's say everything's the same in 2 different restaurants. What?
You use the keywords that they use.
I'm saying that for Theo. What? Huh?
Use the keywords that they use on their homepage.
Yeah. So what you do is you go to their website. You go to the section that says About Us. They always have that, right? What's our mission?
Right.
You look for keywords. And what do you do with those keywords?
You put it on your resume?
You put them in your resume. But are you going to send that resume to Chili's if that's what Olive Garden said?
No.
No. Why does everybody do that?
Lazy.
Because they don't know any better or they're lazy. And it's usually because they don't know any better. Because if you're going to the extent to try to get a job and you need a job and you want a job, there's some level of unlaziness. except I'll tell you an interesting story. So last year we had some students from Salvation Army at the school. And people get to stay at Salvation Army on this program, and they get to live in a roommate, and it's not really that bad. It's kind of like college when I was in college. So it was a long time ago. It's when they had the horses and the carts. But the thing is, you either have to be in school or you have to have a job. But when people start, they don't have a job, so they're looking for a job. But some people think they're clever, they're smarter than the people at Salvation Army. So what do you think they do?
Just put random numbers.
They pretend that they're looking for a job, but they're not really looking for a job because they have food, clothing, and shelter now. They're staying at Salvation Army. Hey, I'm really smart. I just beat these people. I just fooled them.
You're not really smart if you're still homeless.
Well, but if, we'll talk about that one later. But, so Salvation Army says, wait a second. Ernie, are you really out looking for a job?
Not Ernie.
He says, yeah. I'm going to call him Ernie. Somebody said it's E-Dog, but I'm So they say, Ernie, are you really looking for a job? Yeah, I am. Okay, well, where did you go? I don't remember. Okay, well, here. Tomorrow, take this piece of paper and come back. Write down the places that you went. So Ernie still thinks he's smarter than they are. Okay, I'm going to come back with the piece of paper, and he comes back, and it has places that he went on. Now, Salvation Army doesn't trust him, right? Because they had him do this. He doesn't have a job. So what do you think they do when he comes back and says, here's my list? They call the people up and say, hey, did a guy come in there? And what they found is these stores would say, well, a guy came in here and he said, do you hire homeless people? What happened to Ernie? Big problems, right?
Right.
Okay, big problems. So that kind of is a thing of never, ever, 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 ever start a relationship out on the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
do not ever do that.
Right.
So here's the problem with the guy. We'll recreate the incidents of last week. Let's say you have sent out 100 resumes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pretend that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
In real life?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I was about to say, good luck, girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pretend that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And you're proud of it, right? Because he was proud of it. I was like, yeah, I got what you guys beat. You guys sent out 10, he sent out 15, I sent out 100. And all these employers are stupid because they didn't hire me. Okay? I'm interviewing you. Okay? So I say, Therese, right? Therese, you looking for any other jobs? Are you sending any resumes out?
Yes, I am.
Okay. About how many?
About 4.
You sent out 100.
Okay, about 100.
Okay, now if you say about 100, what happens to your chance of getting the job?
I guess it drops. I wouldn't hire you after that.
Why not?
I mean, she said 100 resumes and you get no call back. That just shows me that she's not a very reliable person.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's something in your resume that's not.
What it shows me is you don't really want to work at our company, you just want a job.
Right.
We're looking to hire somebody who really wants to work here.
Oh, wait, so you told me they want to see how much you're going to come back to that place and boom?
Okay.
Bug 'em, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, they want to see how bad they want the job. They want
to hire people who really want to work there.
Right.
Okay, they don't want to hire people who say, I just really need a job. I sent out 100 resumes.
Who's gonna, right.
Okay? So here's the problem. You send out a lot of resumes. They're trying to figure out what? What are they trying to figure out, Ernie, when you go into an interview? What's the fundamental purpose?
You want to know about me?
Erica, what's the fundamental purpose when you go into an interview?
They want to see what kind of person.
No, because they already have your resume. No, no. When you go in for the interview, they love this resume. They want to hire this person.
Because it was
You want to make sure that you're that person?
Yeah, they want to make sure you're the person on this resume, because a lot of people have other people write their resumes.
So basically,
It's not
they
really
want
you.
to recite your resume today.
They want to make sure you're this person. Okay, we're going to get to that. You're going to be the next person that we do discuss. Okay? So they want to make sure when you're in your interview, the fundamental thing is they like this person. Are you this person?
You know, I don't get it. So you're telling me paper makes it more open, but we just have to say what they already read.
They've got 400 people applying for a job. They're going to interview 10. They need pieces of paper or electronically to figure out who are the 10 we're going to interview. Okay, somebody's got to turn that sound off back there.
Because you right now how, you know, that's how, we got that page, we got a computer screen to see if they're you, to see if we want to.
No, we're going to interview you to see if you're you. We put out there, here's who we want to hire. 400 people reply. They want to hire one, so we're going to interview 10. We need to see them before we hire them, because too many people have other people write their resumes, or too many people lie about their resume. Okay, so we need to see, is this you? So I don't know if it's you. I'm the interviewer. I don't know if this is really you. We could be playing spy versus spy. You're trying to fool me, and I'm trying to find out if, huh?
Isn't that why they do background checks?
They don't do that till after. Okay, after they decide you like you. Okay, so Marlisha.
Yeah, mine.
Okay, so now, what did you just say before? All right, so we're going to come back to that.
Reciting.
You need to recite your resume, right? Okay, so I'm now reading your resume, and I say, okay, tell me about this, your last position.
Well, you can recite.
Okay, so you're talking to me, I'm reading your resume. Okay, so we're just pretending.
So basically, you want me to recite what's on my resume to you, or?
I'm looking at your resume, I said, Marlisha, tell me about this last job.
Very, store, I got really good skills.
Okay, so you tell me about the job, right? You're trying to recite what's on your resume,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, they want word for word, that's why.
No, they don't
Then they
want
say
word
this.
for word.
No, here's what they say.
don't want word for word. They just want to know if that's you.
No. Here's what they say. No and no. Partially right, partially right. Here's the ultimate fundamental thing they might say. You have to be prepared for it. That's not what your resume says.
Oh, shoot, look at that, look at that. I'm like, I typed it, look at it, what?
Huh?
Ooh, out here.
Okay.
And I think
Now
that's
what?
why they wouldn't believe that's you, because if you can't tell me what's on your resume.
He doesn't care if it's true or not. He's trying to find out if it's true. So they'll just throw out a trick question. That's not what it says on your resume.
It could be.
To see how you react. Now, what if you didn't write that? What are you going to say? If somebody else wrote your resume.
Slay
It could be like they're making up reasons not to hire you.
Huh? No, pretend they want to hire somebody. They're not bringing you in because they don't want to hire you. They're bringing you because they do want to hire you. Okay? They want to make sure this is you, though. So let's say you had somebody create your resume for you. You read it 22 times. And they say, tell me about this last job, or tell me about the job last year. And then they say, that's not what it says on your resume. Now what?
Say, yeah. that's
Let's
what-
say you didn't write it. So you pretend you did not write it.
All right.
Okay, what do you say?
I say, are they bluffing?
You ask the interviewer, are you bluffing? Seriously?
You different rooms, we have to ever see it.
What?
I've never had anybody call me before.
Okay, that might tell you something about the jobs you applied for.
Yeah.
The higher up you go, the more scrutiny there is. Never, ever, ever lie on. Don't ever start any relationship on a lie. So it's kind of a lie to not write your resume, have somebody else do it for you. Because that's not really you. That's a better version of you. Right?
Ouch. Why? Ouch.
Okay, so let's write down the secret, simple part of life to be successful. And this is so simple.
I mean, if everybody else, hold on, you say so, if somebody else writes their resume, that's a lie. But if everybody's showing the same thing and they have the same goals, it can turn out to be a lie if they have the same things that they want.
Say that again. That was too
If they
fast.
have like 50 people show up to a job, and they give them the same characteristics that they want, that you're gonna give them too.
The other people you're competing with for the
Yes.
job?
How are you going to know that, how are you going to know that that's the best you if somebody else is giving them the exact same characteristics?
Well, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Who said that's a good question?
That is a good question.
Who said that? Okay, what was she saying? Say it in different words.
Repeat it one more time, please.
I said, if you're going to a job interview, and there's 50 other people that showed up before you, and they have the exact same characteristics as you do, and you're giving them the ones that they gave them, how are you the best you?
Like if they're quoting the same, I can take you to the cloud.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Like,
question
what if you
is,
have somebody coming in?
when you say,
Yeah.
okay, when you say, I'm gonna make you more money than anyone else.
What if they said that too? Oh, is that the best you?
You gotta have a.
Well, but there's only,
How.
wait, okay, hold on. There's only one person who can do the most, right? We agree on that? Okay, we agree on that? Hold on.
Yes.
We agree on that, okay. So if everybody went in for an interview and everybody said, I'm gonna make you more money than anyone else, right? They've got to figure out who they believe. But here's the truth, here's the reality. No one else is gonna say that.
Right.
One more
How do you know
time.
that?
Because I know, because I've been doing this for a long
What
time.
did you say one more time, please?
What did I say?
One more time, so I can get this clear.
Which part? Which part?
Not really a bluff, it's like really good for.
Okay. Always, always, always tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If somebody else writes your resume, that's not really the truth.
Right.
That's the better you.
Oh, you said.
That's the better you. It's not really you. It's somebody who can do a better job doing you.
Okay.
Now, Markeisha says, what?
I said, if you go on an interview, you have like 15 people before you.
Yeah.
Come and tell them the exact same thing you tell them. How are they going to know who to pick? How is it going to be a best you?
Okay.
If they're telling them
So,
the exact same
okay,
thing
fair
you're telling them?
question. Fair question. They're trying to figure out who is the best person.
Who stands up?
Well, who's the best?
But they're using the same characteristics, right?
Well, if everybody's saying the same thing, they can't all be telling the truth.
Right, that's
Right?
Because not everybody.
So it's the interviewer's job to figure out who's really the best person.
Okay.
Okay, now if you go in and you tell the truth and you don't get the job and you did your best job and you don't get it, don't worry about it. You've got 2, 3, or 4 other companies that are in your pipeline, right? Because what did I say?
Find
3 to 5 companies. Find 3 to 5 companies that you really, really want to work for. Other people are waiting for them to say, we're hiring. Other people are going in with an attitude of, I have one resume. I don't have one resume per employer. If you really want that job and you're prepared, you're going to stand out. Now, it could be that somebody's just better qualified. You don't feel bad about that. You did the best you could.
Right.
Okay? There's always tomorrow, and you have 3 to 5 companies. Okay, but now what do you do in the meantime while you're waiting for these 3 to 5 companies?
Right.
Because you got to pay your
You
bills.
got to pay that rent.
Right, you got to pay your bills. So that's where you go get this thing called a job. Okay? Because the other thing is your career.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's your career. Okay, now people get confused. So I can tell everybody in here is confused, thinking a job
No.
is a career.
It's just fun.
Okay?
I mean, yeah,
I
you
use that
kinda
little
stuck
sleight
out
of
for
hand.
everybody. It's funny.
Okay? So you go get a job. Yes, Eric?
I remember one of my teachers saying the difference between a career and a job is that job means just overflow.
Okay, you could look at it that way. You can look at it that way. What you want to do is get a career. Can somebody have these people focus?
Can I ask you something though?
Huh?
What do you do if you fill out a job application and somebody tells you you're overqualified?
Okay, that's not the real reason. You need to say to yourself, what did I really do wrong? We'll come to that, but let's focus on this for a second. Who gets jobs?
Everybody?
No. In a positive sense, a lot of people settle for a job. Who goes to get a job? Who actively gets jobs? Okay, people want to pay bills. Let's say you want to be an actress. Okay, let's say that. We'll pretend. You want to be an actress, okay? Let's say you want to be an actress. What do you do to become an actress?
Go to school?
You research,
You find
practice make perfect.
You practice and you do what you need to go to casting calls and you audition and you do that, right? And what do actors do before they get their break? They're waiters, bartenders, they get a job.
Oh.
But they don't settle for the job.
Oh.
I'm only doing this until my big break comes.
Right.
What do guys that go to law school do while they're in law school? Or they want to become a lawyer, but they got to pay their bills. What do? They have a job.
Right.
Okay, what most people do in life is they confuse a job with a career. And they end up doing things they don't want to do because they need the money. Because they don't have a plan. But what do I really want to do? So at our school we say, focus on what you want to do, find 3 to 5 companies, research them, interview, get on their radar screen, get the interview and persuade them to hire you. You have 3 to 5. Probably won't get the first one, maybe you'll get lucky. You'll get better each time. But in the meantime, just go do something to pay the bills.
Okay.
And when you do that, you get it as close to where you live as possible. Not on the other side of town, not where you have to spend a lot of money driving or taking buses. Just get it as close to where you are as you can. And if you want to work at 7-Eleven, if you get a job at the local 7-Eleven, and you say to them, look, I really want to be an actor. I'm doing this because I'm going to auditions and doing things, so I'm not going to let it interfere with my career. Do you think the guy's going to think better of you or worse than somebody who says, hey man, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I kind of think nothing.
Huh?
I think they'll think better of you if you sit there and tell them that this is just a stepping stone.
No. That's what people think. They really don't want, if a place that's going to pay you minimum wage doesn't really want people who want to make minimum wage. They want people who are that'll settle for this because they really want to do that.
Okay.
Okay? You're really smart. Okay, let's put it this way. So I went to one of the benefits that we have here versus one of the reason our school is so good compared to UNLV and other people's because our instructors are very good. People like me. So if we were at UNLV, you wouldn't have somebody who had a law degree as a professor. You'd probably have somebody who was in graduate school who didn't know anything, didn't have any experience. So one of the good things that you have is, and this is that you're learning from somebody who has been there, who knows what's going on. So let's say I'm in law school and I need a job for the summer. I go to a 7-Eleven and Ernie and I are applying for the job. Okay, and I say, look, I'm in law school. I want to do this for the summer. Will I have an advantage, do you think? Even if Ernie says, hey man, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I have an advantage because they want to get the person who's going to make them the most money.
In the shortest amount of time because you're only doing it for the
Every day. Every day. Because they don't know Ernie's going to be there tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
I want the best person today, the person who's going to make me the most money or save me the most money. So it's not true that you're overqualified for the job.
Yes.
Okay? Something else. People don't tell the truth. That's another reason it's good to always tell the truth. People don't tell the truth. The interviewer isn't there to be honest with you and let you lie to them. They're going to try to trick you. And they might feel sorry for you, or there might be other things. They might have gotten criticized or in trouble, or they told somebody, look, you know what, I like your personality, but we don't hire people with 3 teeth and 1 eye in the middle of their forehead.
Ouch.
Yeah, so that person then goes back and complains and say, hey, he said I had 3 teeth and 1 eye in the middle of my forehead. That guy's going to get in trouble, so he's not going to say that. He's not going to say, I didn't hire you because you have 3 teeth and 1 eye in the middle of your forehead. He's going to say, you were overqualified.
You said that line before, haven't you?
Has anybody seen Shrek?
Yes.
I'm just saying, because it's just like it just flows right off like it's just natural. You said that before, haven't you?
Of course.
I know.
I practice. Okay, so you have your career, you have what you want to do, you can get that position. You just have to be qualified to get employment there. And you have to be willing to do what it takes to do that. If you want to be an astronaut, you just have to go to astronaut school. You have to do what it takes to do that. You have to pass. And it might take time. If you want to be president of the United States, that's all you have to do. What president had the hardest disadvantage to overcome?
Obama. What?
Lincoln? Why do you say Lincoln?
Because everyone was more southern.
Okay. So Lincoln overcame the most adversity. Okay, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born to a dad who didn't like him, would not let him go to school. He had about 30 days of formal education. His dad didn't want him learning. He learned despite that. His dad, instead of letting him go to school, hired him out as a slave to the neighbors. So Lincoln was actually a slave. Obama was never a slave. He just was the same race as people who were slaves. But Lincoln actually had his parent dad send him out every day, and when he'd come home at the end of the day after chopping trees or pulling rocks or plowing fields, his dad would be standing at the gate like this. Give me the money now. You want to cross this line? Give me the money. You get your food. You do that. When he's got to be 18, he ran away, left home. He was old enough to do that. And he taught himself everything that he needed to know to do things. Went to work at a post office because he wanted to get reading. So where can you get materials to read? Newspapers and magazines. That's what he did because he was committed. And he was not qualified to be president, but he didn't give up. He was very ambitious and he worked hard. So if anybody in here really wanted to be president of the United States, they could. And I'll tell you part of the reason why. Because Nevada is a great state to do that from. Okay, we grew up in California, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in California, you can't get to senators and assemblymen. Okay, they have limos, they have people around them, it's a full-time job, they're big deals. In Nevada, they're not. There's 39 million people in California. There's less than 4 million people in this state. But do most people in the United States know of Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. This state is small, but it has a disproportionate amount of power. Who's the 3rd most powerful person in this country?
Third?
Harry Reid.
Senator.
Senator Harry Reid. He's the most important senator in the U.S. Senate, and he's the senator from the state of Nevada.
There's 2 senators.
If you go to law school, work your way up through city council, and you know what? Only like 10,000 people vote in these things. It's ridiculous. Okay. Get on city council, work your way up, get to be governor, get to be that. When it comes around for the presidential thing, they're looking for a vice president.
Yeah.
Good shot. Good shot at it. So you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. Okay, so talking about minds. Here's the important thing. Why are we writing things down? Why am I recording this?
Because you forget to.
How do you quit? Oh, no.
You forget
You never noticed this thing right here?
I didn't see a camera, so I didn't.
What did you think it was? Just a stick?
Yeah. Just a stand, it looks like a camera, but I didn't want to know, I'm trying to avoid
Okay.
it.
Here's the thing that we need to know. Here's the most important thing. Oh wait, I was going to tell you the secret of success.
Okay.
Secret of success.
And I should write this in my book.
Yeah.
You should write it in your book. You should write it. You should read it every night before you go to bed, and you should tell yourself, that's what I want to be.
I swear, I thought it was support motivational.
Okay?
Secret to
Secret of success is to be
Yeah, right.
is to be believed in.
By who, yourself or yourself and others?
Well, other people. But nobody's going to believe you in you if you don't believe in yourself. If you run around saying I'm a fraud, nobody's going to believe in you. Okay? So,
Well, yeah, they will believe you. Just because you're a fraud, they believe you're a fraud. Like,
no, well, they're going to believe you, but not believe in you. So that's a good segue to, this isn't to be believed, it's to be believed in.
Right. All right.
I believe in you. That's the position you want people to say, I believe in you. Now, if I believe in you and you tell me something, what happens? I what?
You think it's the truth?
I believe you, right? If I believe in you, whatever you tell me, I believe. And so if I'm in a company, I'm in sales, and my prospective customer believes in me, and I say, this is what you need to do, Frank, and he believes in me, what's he going to do? He's going to believe me.
Well, why is that so hard to, make people do?
Okay. Because ultimately it comes down to trust. People don't believe you if they can't trust you. They don't believe in you if they can't trust you. So when we go around in our daily lives and we're cutting corners on the truth, what happens? They could like you, you know. Our parents are supposed to, our friends are supposed to like us for who we are, right?
Yeah.
Our parents are supposed to love us despite who we are, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if people like us for who we are, or they love us because of who we are, and we're not good, how do we get to be good?
But you're good based on somebody else's definition of it. You don't like my
No,
definition.
you're good because you're good. This is what you want people to do, is believe in you that you're good. If you're not good, now you're back to lying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not good, so you have to start out as a person who says, you know what, I want to be believed in, therefore I need people to trust me. Because if I'm believed in, no matter what I tell somebody, if they believe in me, they're going to believe me. If I work at a shoe store, and a guy comes in and he believes in me, I say, look, I'm going to get you the best shoes you want. I'm going to take care of it. If they believe in you, then they're going to believe you when you tell them that. Now, they're not going to believe in you if they just met you, right? You're not going to get somebody to believe in you. You could get them to believe you. But it all starts with trust. And once trust is gone, it's almost impossible to come back. And so this is an important part of our school because most of our students have a criminal record. And most of our students have been to prison. Now, how do you think it feels getting a job if you've been to prison and you think you can't get a job because they don't trust you because you've been to prison?
I don't think they feel like crap.
Huh?
I think they feel pretty crappy about it.
Yeah, so when you feel like they're already prejudging you because of your history, are you going to be your best self? It's pretty hard.
Even if you wanted to, you probably
It's
wouldn't
pretty
be
hard.
trying.
So you have to start with what we get with our people, and we have a big poster on the wall, is trust. You have to be a trustworthy person. And so like if you're in over there and you're going through your orientation, somebody to be believed in is somebody who is 100% committed to what they're saying to you. If you're joking around or talking around or typing on the computer, you're doing other stuff, are they going to believe in you?
No.
Why not?
Because you're not taking it seriously.
Because they don't feel they can trust you. Here's what I want you to do. This is basically why they do the orientation, do whatever, and they want to help you, but they go through this whole process to see whether they can trust you. So it's simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy to be trusted because what happens when you are, a lot of times? People do what?
Take advantage of you?
They take advantage of you. So if you think somebody's going to take advantage of you, do you want to put yourself in a position where you're going to be vulnerable or hurt?
No.
No. So we don't do that. And then that means we end up over here, not being believed in. But if you have the willingness to say, you know what, I don't care, I'll make myself vulnerable. If this person wants to hurt me, that's on them. As long as I'm not going to get killed or injured. Okay? That's a reflection of them. So, who knows who Julius Caesar was?
I wasn't talking about it, I know who he was.
Who?
Come on, man.
Who was he?
He was like,
Okay.
Was that right?
how do you say?
Within,
He was a dictator, I want to say dictator in Rome, back
okay,
when.
back when?
Yeah, back when.
How many years ago? I'm trying to get within 1,000 years.
380, 400.
Okay, that's within 1,000 years.
1849.
1849?
Yeah.
Okay.
1850.
So where are we?
2015.
Okay, we're here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Julius Caesar was back here. That's when he died.
94?
44 BC.
Oh.
Okay? 44 years before Jesus came along is when he was killed.
Well, he was a major, I mean, he was a tool, come on.
A tool.
Yeah, a tool, that's an accurate saying, he was a real tool. Like, come on.
Julius Caesar is probably the most important guy in the history of the world. But we don't know about him, so we don't think he was. But
I
he
thought
really
it was
was.
barbaric.
No. Okay. So here's an example. This is a perfect segue. Thank you. High five. But, okay. So here's a perfect example. They tried to kill Julius Caesar. The Senate. Okay, they first tried to kill him. Okay, they first tried to kill him. They said, you've broken the law, you need to come back to Rome. But he knew if he went back to Rome, they were going to try him and kill him.
No, just because he's done so many atrocities in
No.
his time.
It wasn't that at all. It wasn't just that. That's not part of the story, but that wasn't it at all. Just be open-minded. This is not part of the point. So he says, well, if I go back to Rome without my army, they're going to try me and they're going to kill me. So I'm going to break the law and I'm going to bring my army back with me. And that created the Civil War in Rome. He ultimately won the Civil War. So he became the king of Rome. Some people said he was a dictator. He became the king. Once he won, all of his pals came to him and said, hey, Julius, we need to get rid of the guys that wanted to have you killed. You know, all of these guys here, they were on the other side. What would you do? If you defeated your enemies, they wanted to kill you, you defeated them. You know, what was perfectly legitimate back then is you kill everybody who tried to kill you.
Exactly.
Okay?
Roots, like, come
And
on.
he said, no, I'm not going to do that. Let them be true to their nature and I will be true to mine. I am a good guy. I didn't come to Rome to destroy Rome. I came to take away the power of the Senate because the people were being abused. And then 4 years later, they killed him anyway. Okay, because he didn't know. But the point was, He said, let them be true to their nature and I will be true to mine. I am not going to go to their level. So, huh? No, Augustus came after him.
I said, that's what, I said, maybe that's what I'm confusing him with.
Augustus was a good guy too. Julius Caesar.
Right.
So, the calendar,
No, not.
the calendar that we use is called the what? What's our calendar called? What's the official name of our calendar?
Calendar?
No, it's called the Gregorian calendar,
Oh, is it really?
after Pope Gregory. The calendar before that was called the what? The Julian calendar. After who? Julius Caesar. That calendar was in place for, I think, about 1,500 years. And it was so accurate that after that time it was only off by about 77 days. He's a really smart guy. He was a lawyer. And he wrote a book when he was out on campaign. And he'd send it back to the people to read. And the guys in the Senate didn't like him because back then, if you were in the Army, you joined the Army when you were 17 or 15, they said, if you fight for 20 years, we're going to give you land. You get to go have land. You get to be a farmer, you get to have land. And for the Romans, it was good because as their territory is growing, what if you take ex-soldiers and let them set up a colony out in the wilderness somewhere? What do you have? Ex-soldiers who can defend that land, right? Okay, but then what happened is the Senate said, it's like our Senate today. The Senate said, wait a second. Why don't we just keep that to keep the land to ourselves? They go out conquering land. Why should we give it to the soldiers? Let's keep it. You take that, I'll take this. We'll just cut it up. And Julius Caesar said, no, we're not going to do that. So when the Civil War started, it was Julius Caesar on behalf of the people against the Senate. And the Senate, like our Senate today, their main interest is keeping power. That's what they want to do. So, who trusts politicians? Right? Okay, we don't trust them, so we don't believe in them. The secret to success is this. To strive to be somebody who's believed in. If you're at work and they say, okay, well, who can we have do this? And the thing is, Ernie. Ernie is our guy. Ernie's the guy who's going to do it. He is the guy we go to when we need something done. That's who you want to be. That's the person you want to be. Now, let's talk about memory for a second. Here is the big thing. Here is the big thing. Our brains are designed to forget 70% of what we learn if we do not review it within 24 hours. That's how our brains are designed. They're designed to not remember because we have so much information coming in, we can't possibly remember everything. Right?
Right.
Okay? So, where does information come from that we experience?
No.
Well, how does it come to us from a book?
You gotta read it.
Through Braille?
Somebody usually writes it down. No.
Through hearing the book?
Yeah, sometimes there's audio
I just
books.
said read it.
Mainly through our senses. So at all times, our senses are being bombarded with information. Okay, so you guys are drinking that, you're eating those things. What is happening in your brain?
I'm saying, yeah.
Sensations are coming in. This doesn't taste bad, it tastes good, whatever. Boy, I was hungry. All of these things are going through your brain. Does your brain try to remember all of that? No. 70% of what we learn today, we're going to forget within 24 hours unless we review it. Why? Because that's how our brains are designed. That's why. Okay? But the thing is, our brain in itself doesn't know what to remember or what not to remember. How does your brain know what to remember?
Did you keep You keep reminding yourself about it?
Well, you tell your brain basically it's important. I need to remember this. Okay, do you need to remember tomorrow how those crackers tasted today?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, not unless they tasted bad, right? And you want to have warning, danger, don't eat those again. Okay, but normally you don't care about that. Who drives? Who in here drives? 2 people. Okay, 3 people. So do you remember the first time you drove?
Yes.
Why not? How could you not?
It's not important.
So I promise you, for everyone else, when you are driving the car for the first time on your own, you're going to be very scared.
Maybe you had a bad experience.
I was.
Blocked it out. Maybe you're gonna, I promise you, you're going to be very scared, and you're going to be what's called hypervigilant.
I was.
Okay? Okay. Who's around me? What do I do?
I was.
How hard do I push the gas? How fast? How much do I push on the brake pedal? You're thinking all the time about everything that you're doing. And you're thinking, what are they thinking about me? Do they know it's my first time driving a car? Are they in there laughing at me? You're thinking all of these things.
I don't even go that far. I just try to hit somebody.
Okay. 1 week later, what's it like driving?
Piece of cake.
It's autopilot. You're driving, you're talking on the phone, you're chewing a hamburger, and there's somebody in the back seat that you're talking to at the same time. And you end up getting to where you want to be. Because your brain learned how to do that. And because it was important. Okay? All stuff, our brain doesn't know whether it's important or not important. We need to tell it that it's important. And so when we review stuff, that says to our brain it's important. But the first thing is, it's saying this is important. I need to know this. Here's the best way to not learn something. This is the best way to not learn. This is stupid.
Oh.
Here's the second worst way. I can't learn this. Because what are you telling your brain?
You're discouraging yourself.
What are you telling your brain?
You're picking yourself up from it.
You're telling your brain, I can't do it. So what is your brain going to do? No, you can. And it's going to argue with you? No. Your brain is not going to argue with you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's just going to do what you tell it to do. So, the most important thing is stop giving any negative thoughts. Delete the word can't from your vocabulary. Employers don't like people who come in and say, I can't do that. Unless they say, I can't do it yet. But I wouldn't use the word can't. But you have to stop saying things, any negative stuff to yourself, you have to stop, because the way our brain works is we have cells in our brain called what, Erica?
Yep.
Cells in our brain called what?
Brain cells.
Neuron?
No.
Huh?
Brain cells.
Well, there are in our brain, but what are these cells called?
Stimulon?
The neurons.
Neurons. Okay, we have cells in our brain called neurons. And they look like trees. They have branches on them. And these branches are called dendrites. Not really important. They're called dendrites. And then these branches touch other branches on other neurons. And this is where, and these are called synapses, where the two neurons touch. And so you have electrical impulses going through these things, and there's chemicals released that go back and forth, and this is how memories are created in the brain, in your neurons. Different combinations of things firing. And how do they know? Because they put people in a big machine, a big magnet, called an SNRHA machine, and it's got this huge, powerful magnet on it, and it's looking at blood flow in your brain. So that sensor they can see. So when you're thinking about things, it sees different things light up in your brain. And under microscopes, they can see these neurons and they can do things. And so our brain is just full of neurons. There are about 80, how many is that?
80 billion.
80 billion. 80 billion neurons in our brain. Now, what is the crinkly part of our brain called?
The what?
The crinkly part, the part that's
This is.
uh,
Cerebral?
cerebral cortex. Yeah, okay, the cerebral cortex in humans has about 16 billion neurons. What separates us from all other living beings is that we have a lot more neurons. And it seems that when you get a certain number of neurons, you can do things that no other species can do. Like what?
Be self-aware.
Be self-aware. What else? Dogs have a level of self-awareness. What can we do that dogs and nothing else can do?
We make things like morality,
Okay.
concepts.
So we have imagination. Now, if I say to you, hey, let's make a new kind of ice cream. Let's make liver and onion ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay? Do we have to taste it to know it's not good? No. Because we can have an internal simulator. We can simulate what that would taste like. Animals can't. They can't do that.
Like they don't want to.
Okay? We have the ability to create stories that we all believe in. So for example, if I take this out, this little green piece of paper, right? I take out a green piece of paper. We all believe I can go in the store and buy bananas with that, right? If I go into the store, I give them this green piece of paper, they're going to give me bananas. If I want bananas, right? Now let's say I'm in the jungle and I go up to a chimpanzee who has a banana. And I say, hey, let me give you this, let's trade. I'll give you a banana and you give me a banana. I'll give you a dollar bill and you give me a banana. What is the chimpanzee going to think of that money? What's he going to do with it?
He'll probably take it.
What's he going to do? He's going to smell it. He's going to see, can I eat it?
I mean, something to give banana.
Can I wear it? Right? He's going to say, no, I'm not going to give you a banana for that little piece of paper. Because they can't believe that that piece of paper has any value. If we say to a person, give charity, give these people food, because if you do, when you die, you're going to go to heaven, is that something we can believe?
Don't you think that's pretty bold to say to somebody? That's a,
What?
I mean, if you give somebody some money for some food, you're going to go there, don't you think that's like...
If you're a good person and you help out people, that's fortunate.
Yeah, but don't you think that that's something, that's above us, that's something you can't promise someone?
Well, no, but we can believe it, right? Why do
Yes.
people give to charity? Because they think when they die, they will go to heaven. Most people, right? If you say to a, can you ever say to a chimpanzee, if you give these other chimpanzees bananas, you're going to go to chimpanzee heaven.
Right.
Will a chimpanzee ever believe that?
I
No.
don't care.
Because they don't have enough neurons in their brain. They live in what's called objective reality. So for all other species, reality is desks and floors and rivers and trees and things like that. We live in a dual reality, objective reality and subjective reality. We can believe in stories. So we have this very powerful brain. But if we don't use it, is it of any good?
No.
We'll lose it.
Huh? We lose it.
No.
Okay? So most people don't get that this is how the brain works. We have all of these neurons, and the way memories are done is, say there's about 1 million neurons that are touching one another. We just have 3. But when you do something and you create this pathway here, okay? Now what happens if you do it again?
You make a copy.
Okay? So you make this stronger and stronger and stronger. So the way we remember things is we do repetition. But we start by telling ourselves it's important. I need to know how to do this. We do repetition. So every time you see something, or read something, or write something, you're making another copy in your brain. You're copying that pattern again. At our school, we don't have a copy machine. Everybody gets a composition book that nobody here has. I thought Erica had one, but what? Nothing.
Didn't see anything.
I know. So everybody has a composition book, and they have to write it in their book. Why?
So
What's
they,
it?
oh, sorry, so they're going to remember,
So they can what?
remember.
Yeah, so you can remember, because if you have to write something, if I'm saying something and you're taking notes, how many copies are you making in your brain?
A lot.
Because when you write it down, it actually sticks.
First you hear it, right?
Yeah, you gotta remind yourself to write it when you hear it.
Okay, then you repeat it to yourself, because then you need to write it, right? Then you're watching yourself write it, and then you see what you wrote. Versus if I give you a piece of copy paper that has all the information on it, what are you going to do? You're just going to put it in your case. You're going to say, I can read that later. And you never do. So one of the great things to do to get ahead of other people is take notes. And if you think of students who got A's in school, what's the difference between a good student and a not good student?
Good.
No technique.
Huh? Well, what's more simple than that? Those are the techniques they use. What's more simple? Good students remember more than non-good students. That's it. Why do they remember more? Because they study more, right? But the difference between somebody who goes to Stanford and somebody who goes to CSN is the person who goes to Stanford remembered more than the person who didn't. And when you remember more, you can build more on what you know, because you started out remembering more. And when you start, so we have two people. This is how much you need to know to get into UNLV. This is how much you need to know to get into Stanford. What do you think happens 4 years later? How do these people look?
I mean, we guarantee that people from Stanford are going to remember all that.
Yeah, because it takes that. They don't let you in unless you know all this. Okay, it's not when they get somebody at Stanford, they say, oh, should we take this guy? I don't know, let's flip a coin. They take people who did better, and they did better because they know more. At the end of 4 years at UNLV, this is how much you might know. At the end of Stanford, I can't write on the wall, but at the end of Stanford, after 4 years, you might know this amount, because once you get there, it's not party time. It's now you need to learn more stuff, because if you want to go start a company like Google, or you want to start a company like Yahoo, or you want to do any of these other things, you need to know stuff that other people don't know. Where when you go here, like to UNLV or CSN, you don't get, it's not important to remember stuff. The social life is more important. So if you want to get a good job, you do what we said with the employment planning. But then once you get in there, you need to keep pushing to learn more and more and more, which means you need to remember. So everything comes back to memory. How many cells are in our body?
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's about 1 trillion. Little cells. And what's a cell like? It seems like you've had biology. Okay. What is a cell, basically?
It's basically DNA with,
What's its basic
nucleus
function?
inside.
Yeah, what's the basic function?
To deliver blood to the body.
Okay, it's whatever, there's different types of cells, but it's a little robot, right? It's built and it's supposed to do a thing, and that's what it does. It can't do anything else, right? So we have about 1 trillion cells in our body. How many of them do you think know who you are? Huh?
Most of them.
Okay, so he forgot. Ernie forgot. None. None of your cells know who you are. Do they care?
No.
No.
It's not like that.
So isn't that kind of strange? Your body is made up of cells, only made up of cells, about 1 trillion cells. None of them know who you are, and none of them care. So where does consciousness come from? That's next week. Talk about that. Oh no, we're not going to be here next week. Or the week after that. No, because of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what questions can I answer for you in the last 4 minutes?
Nothing, you've been great.
Okay, now we're going to do one more thing that we did not do. So go to a clean page in your book. And I want to talk about I'm just going to tell you what the Google Apps are.
I was on there already, I'll get back on.
So go to a blank page in your book and put a big cross on your book.
That's an X, right?
Yeah. Put a big X on your page. Okay, now. Erica. These are so we're going to put on 8 Google Apps on here that we learned in Larson. What is one Google app?
Maps.
Maps.
Google Docs.
Docs. Well, Docs is a sub-app. Good. What's the app? What's the app that Google Docs is part of?
Images?
Drive. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. What's another Google app? Gmail.
Yep, that's true.
Okay. What's another Google app?
Calendar.
Calendar. Good. And then once you have those 4, then do another X, but do it sideways so you have an asterisk. Okay. So what's another one?
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Chrome. And we put a box around Chrome because Chrome is not an app, it's a program. Okay, Google Plus. And Voice. Okay. Voice, Google Voice. These are the 8 apps that we study at Larson. These are the 8 apps that when the employer said, when you say, I can take you, I know the cloud and I can help you get to the cloud, and he says, how or what is the cloud? Then your answer would be, well, for example. And that's how you'd say, well, for example, let's take YouTube. And then you would talk about how YouTube can help their business. How can YouTube help a business? Let's think of a business. Let's say it's a carpet cleaning business. How could YouTube help a carpet cleaning business?
Upload a video?
Huh?
Like a video
Well, a video of what?
of the business?
Of the business what?
Advertising, everything that they have.
Well, okay, so you could do an advertisement. How about a training video? How to clean carpets.
Oh.
How to clean carpets.
Take a pick up too.
How about customer service?
Who's gonna watch this, man?
The employees.
Oh.
Okay. Or customer service could be the customers. Okay, we're going to do a before and after of your carpet, ma'am. Here's your carpet before, here's your carpet now. Right?
So basically, it's like advertising.
Well, training is not advertising. This would not be advertising. Advertising is to be, come to Ed's carpet cleaning company. Here's what we do.
It's basically making you want to come to the place and start advertising.
Okay, so the cloud brings you more customers. So you could take a video, you could take this video that you just thought of, and send an email to 1,000 people with a link on it that says, here's how, and have a link in there with the video in it. Have pictures of you. Let's say you're a restaurant. Maybe you'd want to have a YouTube video of your chef and the people in the kitchen on a busy night, or a night where it's really busy, right? Take the video, you put it on YouTube, you send emails out, or you send text messages out to 1,000 people, and you say, hey, free dessert tonight. Did that get you more customers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Voice. Voice, most people don't know Google Voice, right? Who knows Google Voice? What is it?
Where you can make calls, right?
Okay, that's one thing you can do. They give you a free telephone number. So if you're an employer, you now get everybody set up to have a Google Voice account. Then when you fire them or they quit, guess what you get to keep? That voice number.
Yeah, you can get.
But that's not the big thing.
voicemails, right?
That's not the big thing. The big thing in Google Voice is caller specific greetings. So you're a restaurant. You have some customers who are your best customers, and new customers, customers you haven't, that are just average customers. Let's say if your best customer calls, what this does is it says, hi Ernie, because it recognizes Ernie calling. Hi Ernie, sorry we couldn't take your call. If you want to come in for dinner, we're going to take care of you. Just leave a message, whatever you want. If you want a particular bottle of wine ready, or you want this table, you want to have this for dinner, that'll be ready. Just leave it on the message. What's Ernie going to think when he hears that?
I'm gonna call.
Huh?
I'm gonna call.
Ernie's going to think good when he called, right? Because it didn't answer the phone and say, hi, this is Ed's restaurant. If you want to make reservations, just leave your name and number. It said, hi Ernie, I can't take the call right now, but you're a very important customer. Please tell me whatever you want, we'll have it ready. Let's say when Ernie walks in the restaurant with his girlfriend, they say, hi Ernie, we're here, your table's over here, your bottle of wine is already opened up for you. What's the girlfriend going to think?
He's important. I don't know.
Yeah, what's Ernie going to think?
He's in
Store,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so that's it. We're going to turn this off. We went over a little